This is my clownfish breeding tank, completed by my pair of mating clowns. Where we left off in their last video, they had been consistently laying eggs. Here is the inside of their flower pot home. In the back you can see tons of eggs all stuck to the side of the flower pot. Unfortunately, this clutch of eggs and the breeding process for these clowns was about to come to a halt. The problem started occurring about a week after this clutch of eggs were laid. Just hours before I was going to take the flower pot out of the tank and get it moved into the hatch tank. I looked inside and found there were only like 10 eggs left in the flower pot. I'm unsure what happened to this clutch of eggs, but I have my suspicions. The night before, I saw this peppermint shrimp hanging out on the back of the flower pot, right behind where the eggs were. I didn't think anything of it until the next morning when the eggs were gone. So I believe, allegedly, he could have eaten the eggs. So unfortunately for this guy, something had to be done about him. The good news is I didn't have to get rid of him because I already had another tank for him to move into. He is going to be joining these damsels in this tank. Only for a short period of time though, because this is going to become a predator tank. So he wouldn't last very long in here. So I'll show you a few clips of his short stay in this tank. I do have a video posted to the channel about this tank. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. And yes, he did make his way out of the predator tank and into his newest home, this nano tank, where he has been exiled to until he either reunites with the clownfish or when I decide to upgrade this tank. See, he's perfectly fine. I also have a video on the setup of this tank if you want to see the cheapest saltwater tank setup. Now for every clutch of eggs I can't get to hatch, it's been costing me a lot of extra time. It's also been costing me money, caring for these rotifer cultures I have going in my closet that the clownfish fry need when they hatch. I have to feed them twice daily and do a water change every day on these buckets to keep them alive. The worst part is the food. I have to order it online because no store around me carries it. The closest thing I can get near me is this Phyto Feast, which I had to use in between shipments of the RG Complete. So far I've gone through 2 small bottles of the RG Complete and a big one. Luckily I found this website that doesn't charge $40 in just shipping where I can buy the RG Complete from, which makes things a lot easier. Real quick, I'll show you what I have to do to harvest these rotifers, because when I was searching on the internet to find out how to do this, I couldn't find much help. So I'll include that here. Usually I'll take 2 scoops of the water from the culture in this pitcher and pour it through the harvest sieve into an extra bucket I have for the wastewater. After doing this, I have the wastewater separated from the rotifers. Then I take them over to a tank and just dump them in. This keeps the culture from getting too overpopulated and helps prevent them from crashing. After that, I just replace the water I took with clean water. Now back to the clownfish. For about 3 weeks, these guys stopped laying eggs. I had no idea why at the time, but now that they weren't being so territorial, I figured it's probably time to clean off this glass. They freak out anytime I try to scrub the glass near their flower pot, constantly biting at it, and if I accidentally get my finger in the water, they also bite me. So I went ahead and wiped off the glass and decided to go ahead and do a water change while I was at it. And after completing the water change, the tank started to look a lot better. Even though this is just a breeding setup, I still like it a lot more when it looks cleaner. Even though the glass looks clean now, I still want something to eat the hair algae off the rock and the pot inside this tank. And the only thing I have in there besides the clownfish are 2 murdering hermit crabs that kill any snail that enters the tank. So I decided to head to the fish store and try and find a solution to my algae problem. I didn't want to buy any more snails because I knew they'd just turn into food for the hermit crabs. So I needed to find something different. I ended up with a small urchin, and I also did decide to get some Nazaria snails because these snails live in the sand bed, so hopefully they have a better chance of avoiding the hermit crabs. This urchin will be completely safe from the hermit crabs, so I won't have to worry about it. These guys love eating hair algae, so I'm hoping it will all be gone soon. They walk around the tank pretty much eating any algae or leftover food that they can find. Once all of them were in, they started moving around. The urchin was moving slowly across the sand bed. One snail was already starting to bury itself in the sand, which is good news because this hermit crab won't be able to get it. But the other snail was staying on top, already going after some of the leftover food laying on the sand bed. This cleanup crew should work this time, and hopefully get the algae cleared up quick. When I came back a little later, one of the snails was still sitting on top of the sand bed, eating the leftover food. The only thing that you could see from the other snail was this piece sticking up out of the sand. And the urchin hadn't gone far. It was just in front of the flower pot. By the next day, the urchin had made its way onto the rock to start to eat the algae. Still no new eggs in the flower pot though. One of the hermit crabs was also able to catch one of the snails and took its shell. The other snail was nowhere to be seen. Next, I had decided it was time to start changing out the rotifer buckets because they were now starting to look like this. So I went and bought more buckets. I poured all of the rotifers into the sieve so I could get rid of all the water and got them into new clean buckets. Eventually, the clownfish did start laying eggs again though. I think they may have just taken a break for a while. One thing I did change was their blue light. For a while I left it off, which might have caused them to stop laying eggs because you're not supposed to mess with the lighting schedule once they are laying. So I eventually set it to turn back on at night. I also decided to add in this turbo snail to help clean the glass. And while I was doing that, I was actually able to catch them laying eggs. I've not been able to see it happening until now. So they are at least back laying eggs again, but the eggs keep disappearing, so I'm not sure what to really do about it. I'm going to try adding more variety to their diet and see if that possibly helps, because maybe they're the ones eating the eggs themselves. They are also back to being territorial again. At night, I have to listen to them constantly harassing the snails and slapping them into the glass, which is not fun. I originally wasn't going to post another video of the clownfish until I got the eggs to hatch, but I'm not sure when that'll be. I'll keep giving updates on the clownfish and will still be posting videos as the breeding progresses or if anything in the tank changes. If you guys want me to post a video of the clownfish once a month regardless if the eggs hatch or not, let me know down in the comments and I'll see what I can do. I'll still continue posting other videos as well, so if you enjoy the videos, subscribe so you don't miss any. I did also start to notice these little creatures all over the tank. I've slowed the video down and zoomed in so that way you can see it. And these guys, unfortunately, are not baby clownfish. They are some type of pods though, and there are tons of them inside of the tank. So the solution to my problem, unfortunately, isn't that the eggs are just hatching inside of the tank. That's going to be it for this video. Thanks for watching.